Hello, dear viewers, and welcome back to Let's Play Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. It has been quite the busy couple of weeks, but I have free time again, hooray! And I would love to play some crawl with you guys. So, let's take a look at what we're doing here. I think we were pretty close to done, if I recall. Yeah, we just have the 3 remaining branches of hell. And that's it? Is that really... Wow, yeah. Cool. Okay. So we have Gehenna, which is fire-based, Cocytus, which is cold-based, and the Iron City of Dis, which is kind of a mixed bag. And I don't really have a preference as to where we go, but I kinda... I kinda want to do the Iron City of Dis. I don't know why, but I want to give it a shot. Okay, so what are we working with here? We have maxed out resistances. We don't have a source of clarity, but I think that's okay. Alright. Okay, so our Morning Star is giving us a couple of our resistances. That's good to know. That's right, I think we spent a lot of time messing about at the end of the last video, or one of the last couple of videos, and getting all of these sorted out. I think we should be pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay, so, alrighty. Yeah, this all looks about right. Cool. Okay, so what resources do we need here? We have 3 scrolls of recharging. We have 5 in the bank there. Scrolls of Fear are not probably the most useful things in the world, but it can't hurt to have them. We have plenty of teleportation effects. 3 potions of restore abilities. Yeah, that seems like it should be enough. I'll probably want to come back and get more before we take on a second branch, but I don't want to expose too many to shattering, even though we have conservation, I think. Okay, so off we go. I think we did the last branch, or the first branch of hell, which we have done. We did some time ago. I get the feeling like there's been a bit of a gap between then and now. Okay, so the branches of hell are very interesting. There's no point to clearing each level. There isn't really any treasure, and unless you need the experience for whatever reason, which we don't particularly. There's no good reason to clear all of them. And if you exit out, if you climb up the stairs or what have you, you return to the very beginning of... You return to the vestibule of hell, and you have to start all over again and go all the way back down through. So, explosion of flying shrapnel. Because we do not belong in this place. Occasionally, things will be summoned. Aha, good. Yes, so basically the point of all this is that as soon as you find a staircase, you want to go down it. You see, this is not an up staircase, it is a gateway to the vestibule. Good. And on the 7th level of each branch is a rune and the big bad boss of that particular branch. So, oh my, that was exciting. So yes, it behooves you to make as much haste as is reasonably necessary to progress through the early levels until you get to the 7th level, and that you want to clear out because there is a bunch of treasure on the final level of Hell, which is a big old plus. I like treasure. I mean, granted, not much is going to be superior to what we have now, but you never know. Always possible to find something better. Yeah, zapped there. Fortunately, we are quite resistant to torment and pain effects. We don't have any natural resistance, or we don't have any resistance to hellfire beyond, it being sort of kind of fire-based. I don't know if regular fire resistance affects it whatsoever. It is definitely not fire. It is something else. There's an entirely separate resistance that applies to it. But I don't know if having fire resistance reduces some of the damage, similar to Torment having its own form of resistance, but also being influenced by resist negative energy. Resist negative energy, for something that is not already resistant to Torment, each pip of resist negative energy provides you with 5% damage reduction from Torment. So full negative energy resistance will reduce Torment damage from 50 to 35% of your hit points, which is good. I mean, that's very, very useful. Gargoyles are naturally resistant to Torment. They take only 25% damage base, and I don't know if any further negative energy resistance is additive or multiplicative. So I don't know if it brings it all the way down to a 10% damage effect, or if it's a if it's before the thing, so it's 30 half, so if it's 17.5% of our hit points, or if it's 10% of the final amount, so it'd be 17.5% that way. Okay, so it's we either take 10% of our health in damage from Torment, or we take 17.5% of our health in damage. What did that say? Less contaminated with magical energies. All right, that's fine. So yeah, we are significantly more resistant to Torment than we are to Hellfire, which is fine. Just make sure I didn't miss a down staircase. Okay, it's somewhere around here. This is a kind of a cool hell level. I'm using spells somewhat sparingly, just because it's hard to rest in hell, since every so often you are punished for being here. You're not supposed to be here. It's hell. You're alive. What are you doing here? So, as you can see, we've had our dexterity drained. We are periodically blasted by various nasty things, and summon creatures show up and all that business. But none of it's too terrible. At least if you're prepared, it's not too terrible. Stat drain can be quite the killer if you do not have either a source or two of sustainabilities, or potions of restorabilities, or just super high stats all around like we do. If you have a lower stat, one that's, well, especially if you have a stat that's 7 or lower, you really need some form of resistance to stat reduction. And if you don't have that, you absolutely need a ton of potions of restore abilities, because stat drain can happen in chunks of up to 7. So if you have an ability which is 7 or less, it can chunk it down to 0, which means various nasty things happen. And even if it's above 7 but still low, it's like at 10 or something, that's still, 2 turns of punishment away from having all of your stats drained. So it helps to have some defenses against it. But we are generally pretty well set here. We don't have a source of sustainabilities, which is a little too bad. It's a nice effect to have, but I don't consider it one of the sort of necessary must-have effects. It's just kind of icing on the cake for us. Or rather, it's not a necessary must-have effect for our particular character, since we have just stockings full of stats. I am not sure what quantity of stats we have, but it's a large quantity thereof. I don't know. I don't have any logic for picking the directions that I'm picking here. I'm just kind of wandering around. Since we are stronger than these things, the boss on the next level here will be significantly stronger. It will be a very, very strong monster, and I will want to be more cautious regarding it. I will definitely take a moment to look up the baddie on the wiki, just to make sure that there won't be any surprises for us. I believe we are strong enough to take it out. We have taken out all of the things the game has thrown at us thus far, so I think the only thing that has given us pause, like serious pause, was a room stuffed full of pandemonium lords and demons, which I think would give anybody pause. And that was in a ziggurat at some point. And I mean, there have been close fights, certainly. There have been difficult fights since then, but that was the only thing where I was significantly in danger. I was certain that I was going to die, and it was only luck that saved us. Okay, cool. Let's pop on down. All right, so control teleport is not an option on the bottom level of guarded by Despotter. Okay, what does Despotter do? A demon lord who wields the staff of Despotter. Brutal earth magic. Ooh, yikes. Okay. Hellfire and a bunch of tier 1 demons. Yes, we want to, of course, explore around his chamber and not enter until we are ready. Summoned allies? Yeah, okay, so we want Abjuration. Okay, so he has Summon Greater Demon, Lehudib's Crystal Spear, Iron Shot, and Hellfire. Alright, this seems reasonable. Yeah. Okay. So, standard approach, we're just going to slowly clear out the entire rest of the level if we can. And once we have done that, we will start opening doors. Hell Knight. Just kind of let things come to us here. Things have pole arms, we'll try and blast them, but otherwise we can generally just melee things down here. Not worried about puffs of flame. I'm not sure that it can even do damage to us, but Hellfire can be dangerous. We do have to watch out for Hellfire. And the earth magic that Despotter is going to use against us, it can be deadly. I mean, the Hudib's Crystal Spear, his version does 3d35, so a maximum of 105 damage, which, as you can see, is half of our health. Yeah, resting, as I said, is dangerous here. Every so often, bad things happen, but we're fine. Nothing exciting. Nothing exciting. We take an artifact to tempt us at this point. We have the best possible one-handed mace/flail that is not an artifact in our Evening Star of Cold, our +9/+9 Evening Star of Cold. Ooh, that looks like it could be a central chamber kind of place. Let's not go there quite yet. Let's clear out more of this this other business first. Iron golems are not very difficult for us, but watch out for them early on. They have extremely high armor class, and so it's very difficult to damage them, and they do a reasonable amount of damage. So you can often you can lose a war of attrition against one of them quite easily. Before we fight the boss, we will probably drink a potion of restore abilities. I want to have all of our forces at our disposal. And just, you know, just for prudence's sake. We have Master Dodging. Cool. Okay, so we have summonings on. We have... Armor, finishing it off, maces and flails. Okay, what other... we don't really need to train any of our other spells particularly. We could train up Necromancy, Invocations. Let's do that. And Stealth. Okay. As things that will still benefit us, even though they are not necessary. I think that we can get some good use. I mean, Stealth has been doing us well so far, certainly. The 17 levels or something that we've gotten out of a couple of manuals that we've found. But yeah, after we train those, I mean, which provide us with some incremental advantage, pretty much everything else is just gravy on top of the cake. We will be able to, you know, branch out into different weapons should we choose. Though we are approaching the end of this game here, at some point we have nothing left to accomplish aside from just clearing out more ziggurats for the fun of it, which I don't think I particularly want to do with this character. I kind of want to just get all 15 runes, grab the orb, and beat the game. I really want to have that accomplishment under my belt of a completed 15 rune run. I've never done it before, and I want to do it. Oh, there's treasure in there. That seems like it could be a dangerous place. Oops, I did not mean to shout for attention there. But Ice Fiend. Ice Fiends are pretty dangerous. All the tier 1 demons are. Okay. Yeah, this looks like a kind of a dangerous room. I kind of want to clear out these guys if I can. Oh, really? Man, a couple of mutations, even with our resist mutation. But that's fine, we don't have any beneficial mutations, so I don't mind. We do have resist mutation, right? Yeah. I definitely don't mind drinking a couple of potions of cure mutation since we have a zillion of them. I don't really want to use spells here if I can help it, because while this doesn't look like a central chamber where Despotter is present for sure, there is treasure here, and treasure troves are frequently deadly. Okay, but that's apparently not the... Well, it's clearly not the main treasure trove, since it does not have a rune in it, nor does it have a demon lord, or a lord of hell, rather. So we continue to explore. More enchanted weapons, or animated weapons, rather. You can do that yourself with Tukima's Dance, the spell, Tukima's Dance. Can be kind of useful. Wow, that was a bunch of critters to appear out of nowhere. A little bit scary, but we're pretty strong. I'm not too worried about, again, not too worried about any non-lord denizens. Although tier 1 demons and tier 2 demons, I suppose, anything with Hellfire or Torment bears respect. Just trying to get up to close to maximum hit points. 180 some odd should be fine. Doesn't need to be perfect because we could just waste a ton of time trying to reach that perfect amount and getting blasted back down a couple of points and whatnot, etc., etc. These Hell Sentinels have Hellfire and Iron Shot, but I don't believe it's smite targeted Hellfire. So as long as you have something between you and it, they're not really dangerous. Though they have a ton of hit points and they pack quite a wallop with their 2 spells. This is interesting. Okay, so it appears that there may be another sort of treasure trove corner over here. Oh, we need to recast Deflect Missiles, I suppose. Eat another one of our perma foods. This is the point of the game where you really don't want to worry about keeping food in reserve, hoarding food, as it were. Sense an ancient evil watching us. Oh no. Flat. Okie dokie. Cool. Interesting looking quarterstaff. The +4 robe of augmentation. Strength +4, Dex +4, Int +4. That's kind of cool. We'll take it with us just because it's a neat, unique item. Book of Burglary. I don't believe that there's anything in that book that we need. We have essentially the ideal set of spells. It would be possible to play around with a few of them. Arguably, you don't need both Iron Shot and Lehudib's Crystal Spear if you have Orb of Destruction for longer range. Regeneration. I don't know. There are a few things that we could swap out for others, but it would kind of be... I mean, it would definitely be min-maxing beyond what is necessary. We have a combination of spells that I feel comfortable calling ideal. A portal to some otherworldly place. Interesting. Well, let's just kind of back up from that a little bit then. And bash whatever tentacle comes out of it. Seems to not have bothered us too terribly. Do. Okay. Kind of expecting Despotter to just pop up. Hi guys! What are you doing? Can I come? Alright, so presumably in here somewhere. Interesting that occasionally we still poison something, even in hell. That's kind of neat. This Morning Star has been very, very good to us. This has been an excellent artifact to have on our side. Okay. This looks promising. Concentric chambers are often surrounding something. Ooh, what paralyzed me? It's good to know that that can happen. Vampire Knight. Okay. We will watch out for those in the future. Oh, we are contaminated. Yikes. I guess. Oh, that's right. Yes, we can be contaminated by hell itself. Let's rest for a little while and see if we can't get rid of that contamination. There we go. Okay. That's good. Okay, so we want to drink one of our potions of cure mutation, mostly because we had that healing reduction. That is something that I really don't want to deal with when facing Despotter. I want every single hit point that we have available to us, including the ones that we will heal mid-combat. Oh wow, something noticed our combat. So let's go ahead and drink this potion of restore abilities, get those back up to tip-top shape. We may lose a couple points here and there in the coming turns, but at the very least, that's no guarantee that it'll happen. And beyond that, if necessary, we can drink another, or we can just continue on with some reduction in stats. I'm not particularly concerned about it. Clear out some of these zombies. Things don't appear to be doing too much damage to us, although I do think backing up a step is fine to kind of shuffle up these polearm wielders. Get that necromancer out of the way. Balrugs and whatnot. Wind Drake, or Quicksilver Dragon, rather. They appear similar to Wind Drakes, but they are certainly stronger. A lot of weapons and things, nothing that seems particularly interesting to us. Okay. It was actually kind of a painful experience. Let's just heal ourselves up a few times rather than trying to rest. We have plenty of scrolls of recharging and fewer potions of restore abilities, which, if we were to rest repeatedly until we are at full strength, we might have more stat drain that we would have to cure up. Whee! Hellfire! Fortunately, there are a few things that are entirely resistant to Hellfire. Some demons are. Usually demons that can wield Hellfire are resistant to Hellfire. But if something blasts you with Hellfire, chances are decent that anything standing next to you is also going to suffer. Though this is by no means universally true. Alright. Gut-wrenching scream fills the air. I'm not sure what that does, but I would bet you dollars to donuts that Despotter is hanging out in here somewhere. There he is! Oh my goodness. Scary looking. The Lord of the Iron City of Dis. Oh, that looks Latin to me. Interesting. I have no idea what that says. Perhaps I'll look it up at some point. Okay. There we go. Kill the Brimstone Fiend. How do we want to do this? Let's cast Regeneration. I feel like that's a good thing to do at the beginning of this fight. Despotter picks up 2 potions of curing. That's swell. We have a guest. That's nice. I wonder, can we just bash until... Oh my, yes. This works just fine. There we go. Boom, boom. +4/+4 Staff of Despotter. I'm not sure exactly what that does, but it looks cool. Neat. There it is. Whoop, there it is. The Iron Rune of Zot. Cool. 13 runes. Some plate armor, which will almost certainly go unused, but you never know. Cool. Well, oops, let's, guess they're all over that way. But, yeah, neat. So, only 2 more branches of Hell left before we have all of the Runes of Zot, every single one of them. Neato burrito. We do have to get out of Hell here, which, you know, we should not just dash madly towards the exit. We'll save that for once we've grabbed the orb and we're trying to get out of the dungeon. Woo! Cool! Neat. The nice thing about the vestibule is that monsters do not respawn here, I don't think, so you can rest here for pretty much as long as you want. You're not punished here as you are in the inner gateways. Let's try on this. Oh, we have a scroll of identify, don't we? Let's do that. Terrible armor. Okay, so we're going to drop that. I probably won't return to our stash here. There's no reason to do so. I am curious what the Staff of Despotter actually does, or if it's just a... oh, it can be evoked to launch Hellfire at a monster that costs HP, MP, and food. Okay. Okay, interesting. So you'd need a high level of evocations. Okay, so it's interesting. It's a cool evocable item. We will hang on to it as if we carry it out with us, it'll increase our final score. All the items you carry out with you increase your final score. But as for now, I'm going to go ahead and end this video, and we will return next time for one of the other branches of Hell. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.